Hey everyone, Richard Payne here from Halifax Homes and Lifestyles at eXp Realty, and we are at the start of a new month, which means one major thing that we really like to do, and we do this every single month, as you well know, is start looking at some stats. Dive into the numbers, figure out what's going on, and try and make some kind of sense of the market that we've got right now. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and it's that time when we want to look at the stats again. But as usual, if you're thinking of listing your house, buying a house, moving to Nova Scotia, where's the best neighborhoods, we've got all of the best content that you're looking for right here on my channel. So make sure you hit the bell, make sure you subscribe. That way you're going to stay up to date with everything that we've got going on, and that is going to make you a smarter seller and a smarter buyer. Definitely a smarter investor, because market's pretty key. So let's talk about what happened in the month of October. Because we are now, like, I'd say 18 months down the path of exactly what's been going on in this market since we hit COVID, since our market took off like a rocket, and what that's actually going to mean to you as a seller and what it's going to mean to you as a buyer. So let's have a look at some of the quick stats down here. So the first thing always comes down to the price, is like, what's our average price? So inside HRM, Halifax Regional Municipality, we are sitting at $519,201. Now that is 7.4% over and above the list price of properties. So roughly 107%. So if we're at 519, we're actually listing houses at 484. So biggest thing is like, well, okay, we're now in October, looking at October. We've been doing this for quite some time now. We want to see how that compares. Now, last year in October, that average price was only $416,000. We are up 25%. Now we're down slightly on September, like 0.5%, because last September was 522, we're now at 519. So like, it's not really changed that much. But the key thing is when you look at last year, like 25% increase, 416 last year, 519 this year, we are well and truly up. Let's look at the number of houses have sold. 447 houses were sold. Last year, 657. So down 32% and down a little bit off September, not that much. Number of active homes, and this is where it gets really interesting. So if you're a buyer and if you're a seller, actually both buyer or seller, like, take care of this particular number. So we have active homes at the end of October, 1st of November, 326 homes inside HRM. We have a population of roughly 500,000 people inside of HRM. 326 homes is not a lot. Now, last year, that number that was active, last year, 1st of November, we had 749 homes. We're down 56% on the number of homes that are active for sale. September, that number was 403, so we've dropped down from that. But when you look at 749 homes active last year, 326 this year, and then let's look at a couple of other kind of key things. New listings. 422 new listings were put on the market in October this year. Last year, that number was 685. Just looking at those two numbers tell you almost everything you need to know about the Halifax market. And that's important to know as a buyer, because for a buyer, what that means to you is not a lot of houses got listed, not a lot of houses are actually for sale. Because when you look at the sale to new listing ratio, we're at 100%, 106% actually. So from a buying point of view, that means if we list one house, we are selling one house. So there is no increase in inventory coming on the market. Now, what that means for you as a seller is no competition, like literally none. So when you list your house, like there's been 2 houses listed near me in October in Fall River, and both of those, I'm positive 100% sure they're going to go fairly high over the asking price, because there is just no choice for people to choose from. So from a seller point of view, what it means, you're in a very strong position. From a buyer point of view, it means that you're going to have to prepare for a lot of competition. Now, from the flip side, if you're a seller and you need to buy, well, guess what? You're going to be on the benefit on the seller side, but you're also going to be in a little bit harder position from a buying side. So I think that's one of the main reasons that we're struggling with inventory for sale right now, is all of the sellers are going, great, I could sell my house and I could get over asking price and it wouldn't really be like that much of a concern. But when I go back now and start looking at what am I going to buy, I'm looking at the market right now going, nothing. There is nothing on the market that I would like to buy. So why would I sell? Like, that makes no sense. That is where we are today in our market. Now when we look at inventory, last year 1.1 month of inventory, this year 0.7. Last month 0.9. It's not really changing in terms of inventory. It's just all of our numbers are actually down. So the number of listings coming on, the number of actives, and the number of solds, all compared to last year, are down. So that means therefore that the months of inventory doesn't really change. Days on market, 20 days on market in October, 18 days in September. So like a little bit less or a little bit more days on the market, but not really that much. Last year, that was 30. So like we've chopped 10 days off the market as well. So really what we're seeing here, so the new listings, by the way, we are down, that's like down 38%. Like when you look at last year, 685 new listings, this year 422, 38%. So that's our big thing, is we have a real shortage of inventory, which for a seller, if you've got a property that you've already got, or a rental property maybe that you can say, I'm going to go and live in one of those units, puts you in a really strong position. The difficulty is when you want to go and buy again. So looking quickly at some of the stats, like I think we covered all the major numbers. Now let's go into some actual specific markets. So number one by volume, so how many houses did they sell, was that St. Margaret's Bay, Upper Tantallon, Timberley, Prospect Bay, all of that area. 44 homes sold. Average price point, $495,000, 18 days on market, 0.7 months of inventory. So that's the number one market at 44 homes. Number two market was actually East Hants, Colchester West, which means Enfield, Elmsdale, Lance area, kind of all in that corridor at the top of the airport sort of area. 39 homes sold. Average price point there, $335,000. 42 days on market, 1.3 months of inventory. Now this is going to become a very interesting area. There's a subdivision up there that basically has been fully announced, and there's even like it's on websites now as well, called Kiln Creek. And that is going to be our new subdivision, just slightly higher than Elmsdale. They're talking up to 1,500 homes over, like, I don't know how many years it's going to take, because they're not really going to tell me that, because they want everybody to move there, basically. So when you look at that, 1,500 brand new homes are going to be coming in that area, and commute time to like downtown Halifax, downtown Dartmouth, 30 minutes to Dartmouth, 40 minutes to Halifax, so not that difficult a commute. So I think, yes, we've got Parks of Bedford West that's still going on. Yes, there's still some development going on around Governor's Brook. But realistically, I think that subdivision, Kiln Creek, is gonna go crazy in terms of activity, because I don't know the price points, but they're going to be brand new houses. They're probably going to be priced pretty well. And you're not that far away from everything. You're going to be on city water, city sewage as well. So that's another kind of key thing that people are looking for. So that's market number two. Market number three is Bedford. $776,500 and a little bit in terms of activity from the price point of view. 34 homes sold, 0.4 months of inventory. So like there's only 14 houses for sale. So that's practically none. 15 days on market. On average, that's selling about 3.7% over asking, 3.7% over asking for East Hants, Enfield, Elmsdale, Lance area. But Timberley, Prospect, St. Margaret's Bay, Upper Tantallon, 7.8% over asking price. So they're kind of like, if you looked at those, that market in particular, that's our average market inside of HRM. So like I say, the big thing is what that means for you as a buyer is it's tough. Like, prepare yourself to make sure that you are well educated in the market that you are going into. So really get specific on, like, on this street, in this neighborhood of Bedford, how much over asking price a house is going for. Get that granular so you know when you're going in that you're not just kind of going, oh, let's send an offer in and it's, you know, asking price. When everything in the market is going for 30 to 40 to 50 over asking price, that's key. So get your market knowledge up. Make sure you are well versed on how to prepare a very strong offer. Can't emphasize that enough. That's the key thing. You've got to make sure that as a buyer that you're working with a great agent who absolutely knows how to get your offers to win. Sometimes it's not just about price. Sometimes it's about terms and conditions. Sometimes it's about closing date. So get all of those figured out well ahead of time and make sure that you're well up to speed on your particular market where you're going to be. Don't worry about HRM as a global if you're just worried about Bedford. Get granular on Bedford. What that means for you as a seller, like I said, is there is no competition. It's like you can't step back and just go, well, my house is perfect, I'm just going to put it up for sale. Like, you can't do that. But at least you're going to find that when you price it appropriately, it's in a good condition and presented well to the market with good marketing and good photography, then you know it's going to get a lot of activity. You're probably, I won't guarantee you, but you're probably going to go over asking price. Can't guarantee it, but highly suggested. Like, look at the numbers, it's going to happen. And that way then, the biggest challenge for a seller is, where are you going to go? That's it. That's what's going on in October. Now, remember, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel if you need to get hold of me to talk about the strategies that we employ that get the results that we want for our clients. All the buttons and the links are all over the place. But in the meantime, that's the market update for October.